The ranch stretched endlessly beneath a copper sunset, its wooden fences casting long shadows over the dry, cracked earth. The scent of hay mixed with the musky odor of livestock, a comforting reminder of the life Callum had built with his own hands. He wiped sweat from his brow, squinting against the dying light. Out here, surrounded by the rugged plains, he felt invincible till she appeared. Asterisk at first, he thought the evening light was playing tricks on him. A figure moved gracefully along the edge of the corral, draped in a habit of stark white. She was a nun, or at least, dressed as one, but something in her movement. The tension in her shoulders made Callum freeze. His heart stuttered. Asterisk Callum. Her voice was soft, almost trembling, but there was steel beneath the silk. Please, let me be Eve, and taste what's forbidden. Asterisk, the word struck him like a whip. He instinctively recoiled, not physically, but deep in his chest. He had wrestled with stampedes, wildfires, and even bitter winters alone, yet this was a force that he could not simply fight or reason with. Asterisk's sister. This isn't, his voice cracked. This isn't right, asterisk her eyes. A piercing green that seemed almost too human for her saintly attire held his gaze. Right and wrong. Rules and chains. They've defined my life, Callum. But I'm tired. I want to feel alive, even if just once. Asterisk Callum's pulse quickened. He felt the weight of her presence like a storm pressing down. She stepped closer, her habit brushing the dust of the corral. She was no longer just a nun in his eyes. She was a challenge, temptation, a living embodiment of the forbidden. Asterisk, I need to know what it feels like, she whispered, to taste life beyond devotion, beyond obedience. Will you help me? Asterisk, he swallowed hard, his mind a tangle of desire and dread. Every instinct screamed to pull away, yet every fiber of his being was drawn to her. To the forbidden promise she dangled before him. The rosary around her neck glinted in the fading light, each bead catching the last rays of the sun like sparks of fire. Callum's hand twitched, reaching almost unconsciously toward her. Asterisk, Eve, she said, her voice softer now, almost a plea. I'm asking you. Not as a sister, not as a servant of God, but as a woman who wants life. Just once. Will you be my forbidden fruit? Asterisk, the world seemed to stop. The ranch, the plains, the distant mountains all shrank into a single point, focused entirely on the figure before him. Time slowed, each heartbeat a deafening drum in his chest. He could see every detail, the trembling of her fingers, the faint quiver of her lips, the tension in her stance as if she were ready to run or surrender. Asterisk Callum's mind raced. This was more than temptation. It was a test of everything he had believed, everything he had built his life around. He had lived by discipline, by hard work, by the rugged rules of the land. Yet here she was, offering him the impossible, the forbidden, and he could not look away. Asterisk, the sun dipped lower, the sky bleeding shades of red and gold. Shadows stretched across the corral, wrapping around them like a cloak. Her voice broke the silence again, fragile yet insistent. Taste it, Callum. Taste it just once. Feel what you've been missing. Asterisk, his hand shook, both with anticipation and fear. One step could ruin everything. Yet another second of hesitation felt like betrayal to her, to himself, to the life he had known. He wanted to speak, to command her to leave, to remind her of the vows she carried, but the words stuck in his throat. Asterisk, she took another step forward, close enough that he could feel her warmth, the subtle scent of soap, and something faintly floral, a scent that spoke of hidden afternoons and forbidden dreams. Her hands rose, palms open, inviting not, demanding but still impossibly seductive. Asterisk Callum's throat tightened. He could almost hear the sound of temptation in the wind, whispering through the corral. The world beyond this moment ceased to exist. Only the sun, the dust, the beads of her rosary, and the magnetic pull between them remained. Asterisk Callum. She whispered again, each syllable heavy with longing. Let me be Eve. Let me taste the fruit. I've been locked in shadows too long. Don't let me walk away empty. Asterisk. He froze entirely. His fingers hovered above hers as though the smallest touch could ignite a firestorm. He remembered the vows he had made to himself, to protect, to endure, to live a life ruled by reason. And yet, desire clawed at his chest, a wild, relentless thing he could not ignore. The light of the setting sun danced across her face, highlighting the flush on her cheeks, the small tremor in her lips. His heart pounded. All the ranch, all the plains, all the rugged freedom he had cherished, everything faded into insignificance compared to this single, impossible choice. Eve. He murmured, the name tasting strange and dangerous on his tongue. He wanted to speak more, to articulate the storm raging inside him, but words failed him. The world narrowed to the space between their bodies. The charged air vibrating with a tension neither could fully control. A soft breeze swept across the corral, rustling the hay and carrying with it a whisper of temptation. Her hands brushed against his, not quite touching, and the electricity in that near contact sent a jolt through him. She was patient, yet desperate. She waited for him to decide, knowing that the instant he moved, their lives would change irreversibly. And then she tilted her head slightly, a daring smile playing at her lips, dangerous yet innocent all at once. One taste, Callum, she breathed. One taste, and we'll know what's been missing. One taste, and nothing will ever be the same. But we'll be alive. The rancher's chest heaved. He could feel the weight of centuries of duty pressing down on him. The hard-earned principles of a life spent mastering land and livestock, and yet, the temptation, the human, raw, unquenchable desire in front of him, called louder than all the voices of reason combined. His hand trembled. Hovering closer to hers, the very air between them, thick with anticipation. Time stretched, held in a fragile balance between surrender and restraint. The last rays of sunlight flared across the horizon, painting their shadows long and intertwined, echoing the forbidden pull that neither could resist. And then, with a slow, deliberate motion, Callum closed the final distance, not in haste, not in reckless abandon, but with the electric precision of a man standing on the edge of everything he knew. His fingers brushed hers, just enough to ignite the spark that had been simmering between them since she stepped into the corral. For a heartbeat. The world held its breath. The nun's eyes fluttered closed, her lips parting slightly, anticipation mingling with fear. Callum's pulse thundered, a mixture of dread and exhilaration. They were suspended in a moment that defied morality, faith, and reason, a moment carved from the raw essence of desire itself. And the plains stretched endlessly around them, different and eternal. As the last light of the day caught the forbidden fruit in their hands, waiting to be tasted,